Hi, Sam. It's good to see you.
Yes, you too.
So I am Marnie Goldberg from Mindful Matters Counseling in San Diego, California. I'm a licensed therapist, and I work with teens and adults on issues like anxiety, life transitions. I work a lot with highly sensitive people, and I love to work with mindfulness to help people reduce their stress and just, kind of live in the world in a more present way. And so I'm hoping to share some tips today, maybe on how to kind of navigate all the craziness that's been going
Hmm.
on and all the chaos and changes that we've been going through.
Right, right. And I'm Samantha Comboy. I'm a certified classical homeopath, and I'm in San Diego, but I work remotely right now, virtually with clients. And I'm specializing in just helping people deal with everything that's going on in terms of, like you said, anxiety, but a lot of physical things too, like not being able to sleep, or I
Mhm.
know people, emotional things can hit the body in different ways. People will have more stomach aches or more headaches or whatever it is. So just trying to help support people holistically, in being healthier and being more sane, which, I mean, how are you doing with the chaos that is 2020? Are you embracing the chaos? Are you like crawling in a hole? Like, there's so many options of how to just,
Right.
navigate this.
Yeah. A little bit of each. Every
Right?
now and then, I think we all have to crawl into a hole
Exactly.
and just sort of block it all out and go into freeze mode, I think. But for the most part, I have been trying to actually use the skills that I teach other people, because it's really not an easy time. And I've been fully aware since the beginning of the pandemic started, and then everything just piling up on itself, the systemic racism coming out and the fires and all these natural disasters and just everything. I just knew that if I don't kind of nip this in the bud and stay on top of having some good habits, then it's going to get me too. So, I've been really trying to get more sleep than I usually get, been going to bed earlier. Excuse me. I have been trying to meditate pretty regularly, even if it's a short amount of time, just listening to a meditation from an app. Those are my favorites anyway, the guided mindfulness meditations.
Yeah.
So just helping me to like stay in the moment and just stay grounded. And, I'm taking walks regularly. It helps that I just got a puppy. So he
So
keeps me really
cute.
busy, and I
Yeah.
have to walk every day with him.
Right.
So, just kind of staying in the moment with that, getting my exercise, being out in nature, that stuff has, really helped me a lot. And then kind of providing myself with a feeling of normalcy sometimes. My boyfriend and I will get out of town, even if it's just for a day trip, just have a change of scenery. Wearing our masks, of course, when we're around other people. But so day trips or little weekend trips, just kind of getting away and being in nature in different areas, that has helped so much.
Mm.
And it kind of goes into that like sense of control thing. Like with all this chaos that has been going on, it's really hard to feel like you're in control. And so that helps me to feel like I'm a little bit more in control, to be able to take these little trips and just have a feeling of like, the world is still pretty normal, even though stuff is thrown off in our daily lives right now. Like the big picture, the trees and the sky are still there and the ocean's still there. And sometimes that can be really comforting just to kind of, be around that and be reminded.
Right.
What about you? What have you been doing?
Well,
And how have you been doing?
it's one of those things where I feel like every day is a little bit different. Some
Yeah.
days I'll wake up and feel like I'll forget. Honestly, I'll be like, oh, it's just another
Yeah.
Tuesday, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, wait, my kids
Yeah.
are in the kitchen doing school. Wait, something's not normal here.
Yeah.
And then I'm quickly, brought into the reality of the new reality. And I think for me, it's just remembering that it isn't normal and I don't have to pretend it's normal. Like, I don't know. The other day I
Yeah.
just kind of had a meltdown and I thought, finally, like I've just been like, I think trying to keep up, like, okay, we're just another day. And it just, everything kind of
Mm.
hit me. I was really emotional and it felt great to actually cry and just to kind of get
Good.
out. And then
Yeah.
after that, I felt like, okay, like I can go on. I agree with you. I've been
Mm.
doing like really paying attention to my sleep and looking at, trying to eat balanced, and eat like regular meals and not, like, I don't know, sometimes if I don't eat regularly, it affects my mood and my energy, obviously.
Yes.
Trying to keep consistent with my exercise, and then also, trying to have a little bit of fun, because I think that's one of those things that, when I have fun, it really gives me more perspective, and it gives me more, it lightens me up, right? It makes me not think
Yes.
such, doom and gloom. And, having my kids is helpful, like having a puppy, like you just look at them and they're just like, they
Yeah.
bounce back from things so much differently than we do as adults. But I think for me, like being out in nature, trying to be as consistent with my routine of things as possible.
Yes.
Sometimes it's not possible, but I think too, just giving myself a break, like when I am feeling off or emotional, like not putting so
Yeah.
many expectations on myself, to just be like, get it
It's so
done,
huge.
just trying to
Yeah.
be like, all right, today's one of those days. Like last week, my son wasn't feeling good, and it was like, I was getting so frustrated because I thought, but I have this meeting and I have this, and doesn't, and it's just like, what? I just have to go with the flow. And
Yes.
sometimes, so like remedy wise and homeopathy wise, I'm using like rescue remedy that helps, just the natural stress reliever, and that kind of helps my mood and balancing. It's also for me like paying attention, because sometimes I won't realize how stressed out I am until like 10 minutes into it. And,
Yeah.
those little things that might happen, like I'm walking my dog and I notice I'm like pulling my dog, and I'm like, why am I feeling so
Oh.
frustrated? Because I'm like, I gotta get to my next thing, so just
Yeah.
like taking those moments to have an awareness of like, well, what is really going on for me? Um, there's a lot of things I'm doing just like immune system wise. I've been reading a lot of things about vitamin D and zinc. And so I'm just
Yeah.
trying to keep up with that information. But also, I think, the basics, like you said, sleep, eating well, getting enough water, exercise. So those kind of, they're not exciting, sexy things, but they're things that really, kind of, they do
Yeah.
they do the job.
Right.
So
Yeah, I feel like the like health suggestions have been ever evolving. Like in the beginning, people were saying you need this, no, you need this, this is dangerous
right.
for you. And
I know.
so yeah, it's great that you're like keeping up with that and doing your research. And
Right.
obviously I'm sure it helps inform your work too. But
It does. But it
it's
is
been
always
hard.
changing. Yeah, it is hard to keep
Yeah.
up with, or just to know like what you want to recommend. Is this the latest? Is it going to change tomorrow? And, just being
Yeah.
knowledgeable about, what to
hmm
do.
And I
Yeah.
love that you suggested fun,
Mhm.
because that's something that a lot of people kind of forget about. That can be last on the list when you're in sort of survival mode, like we've been lately with everything going on.
Yeah.
Especially if people have experienced trauma in the past. With
Right.
everything that's been happening, it can be so re-traumatizing that it's like hard to think about having fun. But also when the pandemic started and there's like so much news about everyone dying and everything and getting so sick, there was like this
Yeah.
guilt, I think, about even considering having fun.
Yeah.
And so that's something that I've had to sort of remind myself of too, and to remind my clients, like, it's okay to laugh. It's okay to seek out funny videos and
Yeah.
movies and just have a good time and play. It's part of being human, and it's so important for us to like have that balance and take care of ourselves so that we don't just all lose it. I mean, our mental health and our physical health are, equally important.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, there's a lot to consider, and it can definitely be overwhelming. But it also, I feel like it's within our reach to like do things that can be helpful, even when it feels like everything around us is so out of control. So, like you mentioned before, embracing the chaos,
Yeah.
basically, right?
Embracing the
Just kind of
chaos, giving it a big
go with the
hug.
flow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, the world needs a big hug right now. And I think too, like
Yeah.
I keep feeling like, gosh, I just want to talk to one of my friends. I just feel like this need to connect with other people, whether it's a Zoom call
Yeah.
or a phone call. But like right now, I don't know, I'm just feeling more like I want the support of people to go, yeah, I get it, or oh man, that's rough,
Definitely.
or to celebrate with me when things are going well. But yeah, just to not try and do it alone, or think that, what's going on has to be dealt with by myself. And like, I know, we've reached out to therapy for my kids, and, just because it is something that I think especially right now, the other day I was thinking, man, this and that. I'm like, this is, if there's ever a moment, this is like the moment that we need the
Yeah.
support because,
Oh
especially
yeah.
with the kiddos, I don't know, they're just going through some different things and every kid's different. But yeah, I really am grateful for, getting the therapy and the support because this is like above my pay grade, and trying in parenting and
Yeah.
just trying to like, cope and soothe and all of that. And so we're learning good skills but yeah, this is like hopefully a once in a lifetime event that
I
we
hope
are living
so.
through,
Yeah.
and there's no real handbook, but I think by just trying to
Totally.
touch and we're here to provide resources and ways to help reduce stress and just
Yeah.
keep those basic things in mind.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to support people. I'm busier than ever right now because people really are reaching out in, very quick, what am I looking for?
Urgent
Uh,
or
yeah, just
yeah,
urgently looking out for help, I guess. And some of it's just normal life stuff. But I think sometimes people don't even recognize how much all of the crises that we're going through right now are adding on to normal
yeah,
life stuff. And like high school students graduating, college students starting college, I don't think they really give themselves enough credit for how much they're having to navigate that's out of the norm of what like everybody that is living right now has had to navigate pretty much.
right, right,
So yeah, it's nice to be able to normalize that for people and just help them to recognize you can only control what you can control.
yeah,
And they're basically trailblazers right now. I like to kind of reframe it like that. Like you're teaching us how to handle this type of
yes,
a situation and transition in a crisis like this. But
yeah.
we're
Well,
just
and
all
it's
doing the
ever
best we can.
changing. Yeah, it's ever changing too. Kind of like all the,
Yeah.
take this vitamin, don't take that vitamin. It's like all the stuff is changing on how procedures go, and so it's like being flexible, being adaptable, and
Mm-hmm.
having just that like trust that in the end somewhere this is gonna there will be, and here at the light at the end of the tunnel there's light, and
Right.
yeah,
I know
just
we've talked about that before too, where it's sort of like the finish line just keeps moving. Like we don't
exactly.
really know when it's going to end, and that
I
adds so
know
much extra stress.
it
But
does.
that's why, yeah, just like being mindful, just accepting whatever is going on, going with the flow, like controlling what you can and letting go of the stuff you can't is just so
Right.
important right now. Because if we're trying to control something we totally can't, then we're just, adding so much extra stress and overwhelm to ourselves, which
Right.
obviously will lead to burnout eventually. So,
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, and then just regular things like, flu season's coming up, and making sure you're staying,
Mm-hmm.
aware of your habits and
Yeah.
holidays. And so these are like normal stressful things. And so in
Right.
2020, I don't know what it's going to be like. Maybe less stressful, maybe more. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see,
Right. Yeah. I mean,
what
holidays probably won't, I'm sorry.
yeah. Oh,
Holidays probably won't look the same as they usually do,
mm-mm.
though, with people trying to, quarantine to the best of their ability and not possibly spread COVID to family members. So that's going to be difficult, too. There's just so
Yeah,
many layers to all of
I
this.
know. I know.
But we'll get through it.
We will. We definitely
Yeah.
will. And yeah, I think it will be. I like that idea of being a trailblazer and being, having that growth mindset that I know my being taught all the time instead of the fixed
Yeah.
mindset, and just taking this. I mean, look at how great we are at Zoom now, like
Oh,
we
yeah,
are
really.
here and recording, and so that wasn't happening 6 months ago. And just the different
Mm-hmm.
ways that we've gotten creative as a society. And I think we
Totally.
are very resilient. I think it's just a
Yes.
matter of, not doing it alone and remembering there's professionals out there like us to help, and,
Yeah.
friends and support groups. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty cool that I can actually help anyone in the state of California now with
right.
therapy online. Before, I was only able to help local people who came to my office. So
Yeah.
that's been a cool change.
Yeah.
And you can work with people all over the world, right?
Yeah, pretty much all over the world,
Okay.
depending on time
Mm-hmm.
zones. So they line
Yeah.
up. But yeah, my practice has definitely expanded, and I've also gotten to meet,
Mm-hmm.
other homeopaths and seeing how their doing their practices. And it's just been a really, something that would not have happened, had COVID not come knocking at our door. So there are some good
Right.
things that are happening. And
we probably shouldn't have opened the door when it knocked, but
exactly, we probably should have kept that door sealed, but here we are.
Hindsight 2020.
Yeah. 2020. Oh, that's 2020. Yeah. Well, awesome. Any final thoughts that you think, any takeaways or things that, you maybe wished you're doing to support your health, mental, physical, emotional?
No, I mean, I just want to emphasize to people that they're really not in this alone. Like, we are all going through it together, right? I mean, if you had healthy coping skills before this, obviously that's going to help you now, but there's no time like the present to get some good, habits and skills and routines in place. And it helps a ton. I mean, even just when I teach people how to do deep breathing, it's like a game changer. Just breathing. It's so grounding, so calming for the nervous system. It just lets your body know you're not in danger. And sometimes that's all we need to really know or feel right now. So just start with the basics and go easy on yourself. That's what I try to suggest to people as well.
Yeah, and I would just say, just doing, what's in front of you and one thing at a time. I think especially with homeopathy or natural medicine, you may be like, oh, I'm going to try 10 things at once. And then, that can have its own consequences, but just, trying one thing at a time, seeing how your body responds and just paying attention, paying attention to what your body needs. And that might be different from Monday to Friday. So really, giving yourself that opportunity and that awareness to pay attention to what your body might need. So
definitely. And also, how do people find out more about homeopathic remedies? Because it's something I'm still learning about. You've been a great resource for me, but how does the general public find out if they don't contact you directly?
Yeah, so I really like the National Center for Homeopathy. They have a great website that gives information on what homeopathy is, as well as specific remedies. They have things on, conditions, and so it's a great resource. National Center for Homeopathy, and I can put the blurb, in the comments. But it's a great resource, or people can contact me as well to find out more. But in local health food stores, they have lots of homeopathic remedies. But sometimes it's helpful.
Like the Bach.
Yeah, the Bach flower, that's really great. That's the rescue remedy. And then they've got different Bach flowers for specific emotions. And then the boron, blue tubes is what a lot of the healthcare stores carry. So it's all out there. It's all out there. We're lucky we have access to it. And I definitely, the National Center for Homeopathy, or people can contact me. But I love talking about it. I can talk.
And I think you explained some more detail in our video too, right? Our Melt Away Burnout video.
Our Melt Away Burnout video. Yeah, there's more detail about specific remedies for burnout given your symptoms. And it varies. It's not just one remedy fits all. And that's the thing I love about homeopathy, is it's very customized to you, not only your symptoms, but also kind of your family history, your temperament. And so it's a really, very, very specialized to you and your circumstances. So we go into detail on that, and so it's a great resource.
And just one more thought. I'm trying to remember the exact name of our group, but we have our new California Stress and Burnout Relief group on Facebook. So it'd be great to have some more people join our group and kind of support each other and get support themselves for any stress related stuff, burnout, symptoms or whatever, because obviously we're both passionate about helping people to reduce their stress and not be burned out. So
and that was the reason behind forming that, was just to provide another way to connect with people who are going through the same thing, and to learn from what they're doing, but also share what we're doing with our clients, and share ideas.
And I think we have a few resources for people on meltawayburnout.com too.
Meltawayburnout.com. We've got free resources, some video samples and trailers. So it's also another great resource to check out if you're feeling burnt out, which I don't know how 2020 could end without anybody feeling a little stressed and burned out. So it's definitely a great resource.
Cool.
All
Well,
right.
thanks
Well,
for
here's to
helping me.
2021. Hopefully, yeah, we turn in,
Yeah,
it turns
seriously.
a better year.
Bye 2020. We're done with you.
Yeah, we're done with you. Yeah, signing off 2020.